Okay, so we're going to take what we've been learning when it comes to converting and graphing and combine it all into one. So we already know how to find the slope-intercept form from a graph. We're still going to do that, but then we're going to convert that slope-intercept form into standard form, and that's the focus on today. So if we remember, when I'm looking at a graph, we need to find the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is rise over run. So no matter which points I use, whether I use these 2 points, whether I use these 2 points, these 2 points, no matter what points I use to find the rise over the run, we should all end up with the same slope. So I'm just going to pick 2 points. Let's say I pick these 2. I draw my L, and then I count 1, 2 going upwards, 1 going sideways. Rise over run, so 2 over 1. And then I always check to see if that simplifies. So I type it in. Oops. And it simplifies to 2. But then I look at the direction of the line. The direction of this line is going pointed down. So that means it is going to be -2 as my slope. Now the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and where it crosses the y-axis is right here, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, +5. So my slope-intercept form is y equals -2x plus 5. But they don't want my equation as slope-intercept form, they want it as standard form. So we literally just went over this the day before. First, we check to see if there are any fractions, and there are not, so we can skip that step. Then we want to move x over to the other side with y. The opposite of -2x is to add 2x. Okay. Now, instead of writing y plus 2x, they always like to have in standard form is ax plus by equals c. So x always has to go first. So 2x plus y equals +5. Then I check to make sure that x is positive. And since x is positive, then this is my answer right here. Okay? So we get the slope-intercept form from the graph, then convert it to standard form. That's the steps. So number 2, we're going to find the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is the rise over the run, so no matter which 2 points I choose, when I draw that L, okay, then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rise over run, so that's 6 over 10. We type this in to see if it simplifies. Simplifies to 3/5. Then we look at the direction of the line. Since this line is pointed up on the right side, that means it's +3/5. And then my y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. This is right here, so this is -2. So then I write it in slope-intercept form first. Y equals 3/5 x minus 2. And now we're going to convert it to standard form. Standard form, remember, first thing we need to look for is if there's any fractions we need to get rid of. So to get rid of this fraction, we're going to multiply everything by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply everything by 5. 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 3/5 is 3x. And 5 times -2 is -10 or -10. Then we want to move the x over to the left side to put it with the y. So the opposite of +3x is -3x. Again, they like to write the x first. So it's -3x plus 5y equals -10. Then we have to make sure, is x positive? Since x is not positive, we need to change all of these signs. And how I change all of the signs is by multiplying everything by -1. -1 times -3 is +3x. -1 times +5 is -5y. And -1 times -10 is +10. So this is my final result. No fractions, x is positive, and it's ax plus by equals c. Number 3, same exact thing. So first thing we're going to look for is our slope and our y-intercept. The slope is the rise over the run. So when I draw my L and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, Rise over run, so 4 over 1, okay? And then I type that in to see if it simplifies, so 4 over 1 is 4. Then I look at the direction of the line. It is pointed downward on the right side, so it's negative 4. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. That's right here. So this is 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Then I write it in slope-intercept form first. So this is y equals negative 4x minus 3. First, I look to see if there are any fractions, which there are not, so I leave it. Then I want to move the x over, so the opposite of negative 4x is to add 4x to both sides. They always want the x to go first, so it's 4x plus y equals negative 3. And I always check to make sure x is positive, and since x is positive, we leave it right here. So there's my standard form equation. Number 4, again, same step over and over again. My slope and my y-intercept is what I look for first. My slope here, if I draw my L with whichever two dots I want, I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise over run, so it's 1 over 4. This line is pointed down, so it's negative. And then I look to see if it simplifies, so I skip that step. I always look to see if it simplifies, and it stays negative 1 over 4. And then my y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I write it in slope-intercept form first, so y equals negative 1/4 x plus 5. I want to get rid of any fractions, so in order to do that, I'm going to multiply everything by the denominator of that fraction. The denominator of this fraction is 4, so I'm going to multiply everything by 4. So 4 times y is 4y. 4 times negative 1/4 is negative 1x. 4 times positive 5 is positive 20. Then I want to move the x over to the left side, so the opposite of negative 1x is to add 1x to both sides. So then x always goes first when I write it, so it's 1x plus 4y equals 20. And then I always make sure that x is positive, and since x is positive, this is my answer. But they are not going to put the 1 where x is, they're just going to put x. So x plus 4y equals 20 is my answer.